Hi, I'm Mia, and my question for you is, have you heard of the Second Industrial Revolution? If not, let's start off by discussing the advancements in new industries and how they led to new possibilities in production. These new advancements in new industries included steel, chemicals, electricity, consumer goods, and other innovative technology. During the Second Industrial Revolution, these items were constantly being used because everyone had more access to them during this period of time. With the easier access of these products, they became creative and created new productions such as automobiles like trains and bicycles, which made it easier to travel around and even trade. But we can discuss that later. Steel was used to create skyscrapers and made train traveling easier on a more difficult part of land. Electricity was very important because during the Second Industrial Revolution, there were many productions that we use now, like refrigerators, washing machines, and photograph motion in films. Steel, chemicals, and electricity made a lot of big changes, which has also benefited the world today in the things that we use all the time. Now, let's hop on back to the topic trade and discuss how advancements in transportation and communication affected trade, migrations, and global interaction. Communities were formed due to the advancements in transportations like railroads, boats, and roads. With everyone becoming closer together, trade started to advance during the Second Industrial Revolution. And with these new innovations, it changed how people communicated with each other and led to spreading information in urban locations. Once the word was spread, people began to migrate into other locations to search for jobs and a better opportunity for themselves. Migrating was way easier since trade networks and roads were open and welcome to them. The advancements in transportation and communication had changes in society and brought communities and businesses together. Let's now go over the steps that the newly created state of Germany used to become the industrial rival of Great Britain. We will also go over how the state helped to promote industry within its borders and how their approach was different from Britain's approach. Germany had their productions and other innovations developed later than other locations, due to all the states being separated and lack of communication. Later on, there were changes that brought unification, but an important event occurred between 1870 through 1873, which was a stock market crash. During this stock market crash, it didn't have much change in Germany's economy. Later on, in the period 1900, Germany started to rival between Britain and their economy. With Germany's innovations like electrical and chemicals, increased the speed of their economy and developed more than Britain. Industrialization impacted many things, and one of them was the imperialism during the 19th century. Resources were being used all over Europe and other areas, so they were starting to become more obligatory and industrial countries. Africa was a great target for other countries because of their materials, which led to an event named the Scramble for Africa. Africa did not have a choice to say their opinion or argument, so all these European countries used their new advanced technological innovations to use all of Africa's resources, since they needed more to create more and make more money. Africa was not as advanced in their weapons, so they would rely on what they had and couldn't put a stop to this. We are now almost to the end of this informational podcast. But now, let's compare the responses of China and Japan to the threats of foreign industrial powers during the 19th century. Let's also discuss What approaches did each state take? Was each of their responses successful? And what factors contributed to their success or failure? China and Japan were pressured to open for foreign trade, but with the Industrial Revolution, they weren't advanced with their technology or resources. Since they lacked power, they had no choice and opened for international trade. China was very strict, and China's government denied their request, which led to consequences like animosity and the opinion wars. Unlike Japan, they were more flexible than China. Each of the states' responses turned out to be unsuccessful and ended up having to sign up for a treaty. Thank you for listening, and hopefully you have learned these important parts of the Second Industrial Revolution. Join me again next time.